Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matt, I am the American-Canadian Gamer, and today I want to talk about Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a review of this game or a first impressions video, but I've ultimately decided just to go over my likes and my dislikes about the game, which I guess that's kind of a first impressions video, but in a somewhat different format. So what I'll do is I'll tell you something that I like about the game, and then something that I dislike. But a forewarning, there are more dislikes than there are likes. And in case anybody's wondering, I do play on PC, so some things that I say may not apply to the system of your choice. So, without further ado, let us begin. Now, the first thing that I like about this game is just how good it feels. The movement and gunplay, they feel really tight and responsive, and that's something I've really come to expect from Call of Duty. They may not really innovate, but they always nail the gunplay. The knifing is perfect, and it's, in my opinion, probably the best knifing that COD has ever seen. The game feels really good. But what kills the gameplay is poor netcode. This game does not do very well online, which is something that you think they would have figured out by now. Even with dedicated servers, it just does not run well. And I know they always tend to iron out the kinks, but it is killing the enjoyment of the game. And you know what, I'm going to go ahead and throw another dislike in here because it somewhat fits. There are no traditional dedicated servers on PC. Yes, I know there are dedicated servers, but when I say traditional, I mean servers that are run by players that are customizable. Almost every PC shooter has this capability, but for some reason Activision doesn't see it as a necessity. Yes, I know that sometimes there are servers that have dumb rules or abusive admins, but when you see a community build around their favorite servers, and it's a server that you can join that has regular players that you enjoy playing with, it changes the entire gaming experience from a competitive anonymity to a social gameplay experience that makes the game 100 times more enjoyable, probably even more. Don't underestimate the power that a community can build and the effect that it can have on the enjoyment of the game. Yes, I know COD traditionally hasn't done this since Modern Warfare 2, but the first Black Ops did it, and World at War and COD 4 did it, and those, to me, are the best COD games because the memories that I have with the people that I played with at the times. And I think that's something that Activision severely underestimates because for some reason, instead of giving us control of the game and letting us run the servers and pay for the servers, they would rather pay for the servers themselves and reduce the enjoyment experience of the people playing on them. I don't get it. But one of my favorite things about this game is that you don't have to prestige. I cannot articulate how frustrating it was in Black Ops 2 that you could not have everything unlocked simultaneously unless you fully prestiged. It was completely unfair to people who enjoyed the game but didn't have the time to play it that much. But thankfully now we can rank up to our max level, unlock everything, and just leave it at that. And if players want to fully level all of their soldiers and prestige them, they are more than capable of doing so. But for many people like college students, parents, or, adults who have responsibilities, this is a good thing, and I think it's also great for me since I can just take a week or two, grind out this game, level a soldier up to max, get all of the unlocks, and just use that for videos, especially since Battlefield 4 has such a long progression system. It takes so long to level up in that game that I can iron out everything in COD really quick, just breeze through it, and then focus on Battlefield. So I think that's really great. However, something that hurts this game's YouTube viability, especially for me, is the removal of theater mode. I have no idea why they removed such an integral feature from the previous games, but they did. Maybe it's because it was a transgenerational game, or they were kind of tired of getting videos of quote-unquote hackers sent to them. Who knows, but if they release the next-gen version of the game, and it has a theater mode, and they don't bring the theater mode to PC, I am literally going to go to every restaurant within a 5-mile radius and flip every single table that I can find. And I am pretty sure that I would not be alone. I would probably run into one of you while doing that. Now, something new to the game that really makes me say, it's about time, is the addition of squad points. These points are rewarded throughout the game for completing various tasks, they're given to you for various reasons, and you can use them to buy any unlock at any time. They finally got rid of that arbitrary level requirement on each unlock, which I always thought was kind of stupid, you know, especially since an unlock in Call of Duty isn't really an upgrade, it's more of a side grade. There's really no significant advantage to be gained from unlocking a particular weapon at a particular point. Yes, some weapons are considered better than others, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a high-end upgrade at the end. It's not always going to be best. It's not going to make a bad player good. You know, there's really no reason to hold back those unlocks from various players. And it's something that I wish other games with similar progression systems like Battlefield would implement. Now, one major dislike that a lot of PC players have been voicing is how unoptimized this game is for PC. Now, I can run Battlefield 4 at maximum settings and get 60 frames per second easily, but I cannot run Ghosts on maximum settings. I tried in my very first video of the game, but there were a couple of options that I missed, particularly image quality, that severely tank my frame rate. Even Total Biscuit, who has one of the most powerful gaming rigs that you'll ever see, was only getting 45 FPS. That's pretty bad. That's really bad. And something else for PC that Infinity Ward also seemed to ignore is the ability to change your field of view options. Now, I prefer to play my games at a field of view of 90 to 100 degrees, but I can handle lower FOVs. They generally don't bother me, and I don't get motion sick like a lot of people most of the time. But Ghosts is locked at 65 degrees. Even I get motion sick after playing a couple games, and I have to take a break. It happens. I actually have to take a break every so many games, or I'm going to throw up. It's actually happening. This doesn't happen to me. Contrary to what people will try to tell you, having a higher field of view is not about gaining a meaningless advantage over other players. It's about comfort. And 65 degrees when you're only 18 inches away from your monitor is not comfortable. It's disorienting. It really makes you sick. It makes you motion sick. But when you're on a couch sitting 4 or 5 feet away from your television, it's better, but not on a desktop setup. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about another dislike. Let's get it out of the way because it does somewhat fit here. Even on machines where this game runs perfectly, it just looks like garbage still. I mean, it has low quality textures, low poly models, and just overall ugly aesthetic, especially when you compare it to its main competitor, Battlefield 4. Now, this is the primary area where Battlefield absolutely, undoubtedly, and pretty much from an objective standpoint, beats Call of Duty. They have higher resolution textures that look better, they have higher poly models, and it takes place on maps that are much larger. There should be no reason that Ghosts can't run on the same machines that Battlefield can. And also, the war-torn aesthetic of Call of Duty is getting kind of old. On most of the maps, everything is dirty and destroyed, and why can't we just have nice, clean maps, or at least go to another aesthetic? I don't mind if the map is kind of cluttered with stuff, or has a bunch of, you know, little design decisions that make it look more like a real place, but does it have to be so dirty and ugly? Can't it be pretty? Can't it be nice? But while we're on the subject of maps, let's talk about those. The maps in this game are fantastic. At least from a design standpoint. They don't look pretty, but they play very well. They have a very high degree of verticality. That's something I've been missing since COD 4. So many COD maps have been so flat, and now it seems that Infinity Ward is finally taking true advantage of the Z-axis and making the maps have dimension to them. The maps are very well designed, they flow very well, and they're easy to navigate. However, they do tend to feel a bit empty because for some reason, they reduced the maximum player limit to 12 players. Now, I don't know why they changed this. Maybe it has something to do with the game being transgenerational, but it really slows the game down too much for me. I could see how 18 players would be far too many for these maps. These maps could not handle 18 players. It would be a mess. But they could probably do 14 to 16 pretty easily. Another 1 or 2 players on each side, preferably 2 to make it 16 total. I could see them doing it. It would be close to being cluttered on some maps, but I think most of the maps could really handle 16 players. And maybe this is just because people are still getting used to the maps, that things don't flow as well as they could, and maybe over time I'll actually come to like this change, but right now 12 players seems too small. Now, the loadout system of this game is absolutely brilliant. It is much more flexible than any system that we've seen before. You get 2 free attachments for your primary weapon, and now perks have a point system instead of being mapped to specific slots. So you can choose any perk assuming you have enough points. And you can also just do so much more with the system. It really lets you fully specialize into one build. You can go straight up stealth marksman, you can go full on assault, you can just do whatever you want. They've also brought back strike packages from Modern Warfare 3, which is something I actually liked in that game because it lets you specialize even more into what you were doing. Did you want to be more of a defensive player? Okay, you took the support strike package. You know, maybe you're just not very good at the whole Slayer aspect of the game. It lets you retain your points. And now they've nerfed the support strike package, so you're not as directly powerful. You don't get anything like a stealth bomber anymore. And now the assault gives you really good stuff for just being aggressive and getting those like high kill streaks and rewarding you for that. And the specialist one is back and lets you get perks for, you know, doing well. You get extra perks instead of kills, and it just lets you build this really powerful soldier over time. And I really, really like the strike packages. It's something I'm really glad to see back. However, they did remove the point streak system that was implemented in Black Ops 2, where the points you gained during a match went towards your streaks instead of just your kills. So now, the only way to build your streak is with kills and completing some other tasks like destroying SATCOM. So I guess it is kind of a halfway point where you can do various things. I'm assuming completing objectives will also count, but I do miss the ability for a headshot to add just a little bit of extra points to my meter to build up my streaks. I do miss that a little bit, and I thought it was a pretty good system that rewarded higher skill players a little bit better. Now, as for the kill streaks themselves, they are so much better. I don't feel like I need to have a rocket launcher anymore because there's not as many things flying around trying to kill you. The SATCOM has replaced the UAV, and you really don't get as many aerial threats anymore. I've seen a helicopter a couple of times, and I've seen a couple of drones, but there's really not as much coming down from the sky on top of you as there have been in previous games. Now, that may change over time as people decide to unlock and use new kill streaks, but right now it really seems much, much better. The kill streaks seem that they're much more balanced than previous titles. And the last thing that I like about this game is the implementation of cross-platform squads. This means that I can create a squad on PC, which PlayStation and Xbox players can join. That means you guys will be able to join this, and I'm currently working on this so that you guys can join this squad if you would want to, and I'm trying to get that worked out. And the reason it's taking so long is because you can only edit and manage your squads from a mobile app. You can't do it from in-game, and you can't do it on a website. You have to use a mobile app to manage your clan, which includes the motto and everything else about it. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? I mean, yes, I know so many people have smartphones now, but you know what? Not all of us do, and I'm one of those people. So I have to wait till my wife is home, which she has a smartphone, to use hers. And that really sucks. That really does that. I can't just log into a website and change these options. So I don't know why they do that. I hope they are working on a website and they release something on that eventually. But right now, it's just, that's stupid. I'm sorry, that is just a flat out stupid thing. So I guess in conclusion, Call of Duty Ghosts is a really mixed bag. From a gameplay and customization standpoint, it is probably the best this series has ever seen. I would go as far as to say that from a gameplay standpoint, this is the best Call of Duty that we've ever had. It's tight, it's responsive, it feels a lot more balanced, it's finely tuned, it's satisfying. It just feels like such a good game, and it's so much fun when it works. However, it's plagued by all of these technical aspects like poor netcode, low fidelity, and just overall bad optimization and really dumb decisions like getting rid of theater mode. When the game works, it's amazing. It really is, but it doesn't always work. At the moment, I would avoid purchase of this game. But if they work out their performance problems, and you can tolerate less than stellar graphics, and you don't mind things like the removal of theater mode, then I'd give the game a shot if they fix a lot of their current issues, especially if the game you find it cheaper on sale or used or something. Then I would definitely give it a shot. But until then, I would avoid purchase. I would avoid purchase until then. And for those of you who have played the game, what do you think? Do you like it? Is it a letdown? Let me know in the comments section below. And while you're down there, why don't you hit that little like button there to help me out a little bit? I'd really appreciate it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt, and I'll see you next time.